Hi guys, this is Chris, welcome to a new video. Today it's all about the compact Sonor AQ2 Bop kit. Enjoy! This set in the color Ripple White is a 70 years Thomann anniversary product. In addition to the special finish, it is of course also a little cheaper than the regular sets. You will have to pay €899 for it. The kit comes in two boxes and consists of the following components: 18 by 14 bass drum, 12 by 8 tom, a 14 by 13 floor tom and a 14 by 6 snare. So you get classic sizes and also a full-grown snare, which is not just 12 or 13 inches in diameter like with other compact sets. The only hardware in the package, apart from the 3 legs for the floor tom, is the massive combination holder. On the right hand side is a short cymbal boom arm and on the left is the tom holder, which can be adjusted quite flexible. At this point, however, I have to complain a bit. Firstly, the holder is really big and massive, which actually clashes with such a compact and lightweight set. But on the other hand, it adds so much mass that you don't have to worry about a slipping bass drum. However, to attach the holder and prevent it from turning sideways, you really have to fasten the bottom screw super tight. Other manufacturers have solved this more elegantly. I also don't like the fact that the small tom has quite a lot of movement up and down when suspended. Sonor has not yet managed to include an elegant and affordable lightweight hardware series in its range. Think of the Featherlight Tama Classic stands, for example, which of course would be ideal for a set of this type. The shells are made of 7.2mm for the bass drum and 5.8mm thick maple plywood. They have sharp bearing edges with almost no countercut on the outer side, which provides a very open sound with lots of overtones. In contrast to the 1.6mm hoops on the toms, the snare has 2.3mm power hoops. The bass drum has silk matte lacquered wooden hoops and its legs can be secured with memory locks. The sheet metal claws on the bass drum look a little cheap, but otherwise the set looks quite good and makes an appealing impression. And tuning is also quite easy. Out of all 4 drums, only the bass drum still needs to be covered with heads. Here both heads are pre-damped, while the snare and toms have single-ply coated better heads and clear resonant heads. All heads are from the Remo Offshot UT from China, where the set is also manufactured. Okay, enough talk. Let's start with the sound files. I have recorded the set in 2 tunings with the stock heads. First in a higher tuning and then in a medium tuning. As you can hear, the set sounds really round and quite flexible, With the pre-damped heads, the small bass drum has quite a lot of bass, so it's not quite the authentic bebop sound, but you can hear what it is capable of. The snare has good and crisp wire response, but also quite a lot of wire sound, which blended surprisingly well with the overall mix of the kit. One thing I noticed is that the snare goes out of tune quite quickly with rim shots, which is something it has in common with many other rather inexpensive snares. The toms sound balanced with a clean sustain. So for the last take I put 2-ply UV2s from Evans on the toms, and I tuned the toms and bass drum fairly low. The snare has an UV1 from Evans and is tuned slightly higher. It sounds like this. So here's my conclusion. For just under 900 euro you get a well-equipped and good sounding compact set with a wide tuning range, whether for jazz or acoustic pop music, and robust hardware. Only the tuning stability of the snare with rim shots, the somewhat cheap looking claws on the bass drum, and the massive combi tom holder, which also has to be tightened really hard to prevent it from twisting sideways, are worth discussing. The latter is certainly more important for frequent assembly and dismantling than for regular playing in your rehearsal room. For my taste, the maple shells of the AQ2 show their strengths, especially in higher tunings compared to the poplar shells of the more affordable AQX models. The maple shells have more cut and also sound a tad more present and articulate. In lower tunings, however, the difference is likely to be much smaller. And let's also take a look what other manufacturers have to offer. The biggest competitor is probably the Stage Custom Bop with bird shells from Yamaha, which offers a more elegant hardware solution, at least in my mind, but it doesn't come with a snare or cymbal arm and costs just under 700 euro. And of course the classic, the Gretsch Catalina Club Jazz with mahogany shells. This set sounds a little softer and has a snare and a riser for the bass drum on board, but the Catalina snare doesn't sound as good as this Sonor snare here. The Catalina is currently priced from 745 euro here in Germany. As another alternative, even if it's not such a big name, you can also check out the Drumcraft Series 6 jazz set with maple walnut shells for 899 euro. So, that's it for today. If you liked the video, leave a like and hit the subscribe button. You can find the link and all the details to the set in the description down below. And I hope to see you next time. Until then, bye!